pulled over on the side of the road. So I'm on my way to go pick up Percy. We've had a lot of excitement with Percy, and he was supposed to be. Many of you know he was getting fixed today or yesterday. He was supposed to get fixed yesterday, but there were complications, and then he couldn't. They operated on him today. So I'm on my way to pick him up, and Carlene has a little bit of the flu. She's got an upset stomach, and I don't. Elizabeth has. I don't know where. I think she's over at Meredith. So I was supposed to do mail call, but I lost my phone. Of course, I just had to go buy a new phone charger because my phone was almost dead when I went to go start mail call. So anyways, I now have a phone charger, and I pulled over on the side of the road just to give you a quick update. So I'll tell you what happened with Percy. As many of you may have Googled or read up about male pigs, they, which I probably should have known this when I got them, they should be castrated before they're 12 weeks old, because after that it's very complicated. They don't do well with anesthesia, and it's a little bit of a risk to put them under anesthesia. And also, if the way that they do that when they're really young, it sounds awful, but just farmers do it with a knife, just boom, boom. They've been doing it for hundreds of years, and that's the fastest, safest, and they heal fine. But of course, when I learned of that when I was in South Carolina, that when I had called several vets, and they said, well, just, I've got a guy that'll do it. And I was like, I don't really want to send him to a guy that'll do it. And they said, well, that's usually how everybody does it. And none of the vets down there would touch it. So I thought, well, I'll just come up here, and there'll be vets up here that will do it. And there's no vets up here that'll do it. Tufts Veterinary, you have to send them to like a university medical center type where they have surgical equipment, because what happens is they need to have all of the material in case he has trouble waking up from anesthesia. So we ended up sending him to Tufts, and yesterday when they went to go, now he's really good. He goes on a leash. He'll walk around a nursing home or a hospital off leash. He's so friendly, very sweet, until he doesn't get what he wants, and then he's terrible. And so they gave him he had to have 3 shots before he went into surgery. They gave him the first one, and they had a really tough time giving them the second one, and they couldn't give him the third one because he's about 100 pounds. He doesn't look very big, but he's solid, and he's fast, and he gets really loud and really angry. And they said that the first one should have calmed him down, so they waited, and the first one was a tranquilizer, and he never was tranquilized. So then they were able to give him another tranquilizer, and still he was so angry that they thought, well, maybe we won't do this today. So what they said was, they postponed the surgery. They said, come pick him up, and take him home, we'll give you some tranquilizers, and he needs more training. And I talked to the vet, and I was like, no training is ever gonna make Percy agreeable to giving him a shot or anything that he doesn't want. He's a trained pig. This is as trained as he gets. My experience with pigs at this point forward in Percy's career, we're in training. Everybody that handles Percy is in training. So she didn't have a lot of pig experience. I don't think she has a lot of pig experience. But I think she's had pig experience, but not like kind of half trained, because he came in there and she was like, he was so sweet yesterday. Yeah. So she wanted me to come pick him up, and she's like, I don't want him to be too stressed. And I'm like, he's already stressed. He's there. He's not going to be stressed by me coming to pick him up and keeping him for a couple days. I'm not going to be able to train him to be any better. Give him some sedatives. So we agreed she would give him some sedatives so he was groggy in the morning, and hit him early with all 3 shots. And I was so nervous because I was like, shit, what happens if it doesn't work and he doesn't get gelded? He will be like a boar. He went after Bella. He's so sweet and so nice, but when he doesn't get what he wants, or he doesn't, he's good for me, but he's starting, like when I let him out of the cage, he wants to go out with the horses, and he just is like, get out of my way. Arr, arr, arr. And I'm like, no, Pig, this way. No, Percy, no, Percy. And he, he'll give me a little bit, and I'm like, no. And I stomp my feet, and I yell at him, and he's like, oh, okay. And then he goes. But with Bella, he went to test and see if she would back off. So he did the same, like, aggressive little move towards her, and she backed off because she didn't know any, no offense to Bella, but it's a little scary when because he's such an angry little soul when he's angered. And so she backed up, and he was like, arr, arr, arr. And I didn't believe her. So then she came and got me, and she's like, Percy, I can't manage Percy. And I'm like, no, we'll go in there and manage Percy. And I saw him, and I was like, whoa, that's not good. If that's the way he's going to be, I don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do, because that's really bad. He's almost going to be a dangerous pig if he doesn't get. That's all the testosterone in him, and he spends most of his days out trying to have sex with buckets and flirting with the horses that aren't interested. And he's a teenage boy. He's awful. So we only have one shot. It was to get it done and get him gelded. And I was so happy to hear that they were successful today. So she says he's quiet, he's resting, he's just a little groggy from waking up, and he's back to being a very cute little nice pig. So I didn't have a plan B. I didn't have a plan B other than, I didn't have a plan B. So what do? That's the problem with untrained animals. It's not even, with him, it was not even training. It's just that if you talk to farmers, or you talk to, or you Google it, male full boy pigs can be very challenging. And I have a hard stop with animals that are dangerous. So, but the good news is he's coming home, and yay. I'm working with another animal that's really, he's not bad, but Arthur is, he has to have bug spray on him. And you may have heard me swearing at him for the past 5 days. Every day I put bug spray on him, because he gets like he wants to kick me. He doesn't like the bug spray. He tries to run away from me. And he's telling me, get away, I don't want my bug spray. But if you get close to him, you can see the bugs like him the best. He has, a lot of times he'll have blood on the outside of his nose, because they just attack him. It's easier to put bug spray on Elvis than it is Arthur. So every day, it's just consistently working with Arthur. And I know he's picking up his foot, and he's telling me that he's going to kick at me, but I know he won't. I hope he doesn't. But I can work with that. But the pig it's a different, Arthur's just giving me a warning shot because he's scared. The pig, when he was coming at Bella, and that day he's just showing his dominance, and that's a different thing. A scared animal sometimes can be a little bit dangerous and kick at you or do things like that. But when they start biting at you, and things like that, that's usually because they have a lot of testosterone, in my opinion. I'm not an expert at anything, but I probably have worked with more, from my rescue experience, I've worked with more bad, dangerous animals than most, unfortunately. And, my mother used to use me, yay me, as the test for whether the service dogs, if they showed any signs of being, like a scared dog can be a little nippy and aggressive. So she'd be like, oh, we'll wait till Janine gets over here. I'll call Janine, she'll come over, and we'll test it on Janine. So I was the one that had to put my hand out and see if the dog would bite me. That's made me have a lifetime fear of dogs, but whatever. We only had one that really, that was only one really bad one in the period of time that my mother ran service dog. There was a few that were, like Jiminy was a little bit of a nipper. If he didn't he'd get scared and be a little bit of a nipper, but he's, so anyways, that's a mask for, it's over his whole, it's like from underneath his eyes to his lips. They just, and if you, I don't think he'd like a mask on his whole nose. He wouldn't like that. So, but if you just wipe his face with bug spray, and if you would just stand still for 2 minutes while I put it on, he's fine. He's fine. So, anyways, will that temper mellow out? Oh yes, his bad temper will definitely mellow out. It's, I hate to say it, but it's because he's a full boy, and he'll be like, he'll start to calm down in the next. I mean, he's very manageable. He's very manageable. But the challenge, I've not handled a lot of pigs, but the thing that I see about Percy, I call him Percy Piggy, but Percy is smart enough to know that he can get away with some things with some people and other things with other people. And I don't like having animals that are that smart. And he knows, because, animals can sense whether you're the alpha. And I just walk around the property. You probably hear me all the time. I've got a big voice. I yell at things. I stomp my feet. I make a lot of noise. And all the animals think I'm alpha. And that's great, because like Chester weighs 1,200, 1,300 pounds. And he thinks I'm bigger than he is. And so does Sunshine. So you want that. And Percy's not gonna cause any problems with me, because he knows that I will fight right back. That the problem is, like, I don't want him to push. Most animals know that my mother's alpha, even though she's so handicapped at this point. But still, I don't want the pig to accidentally, like, when he wants to, because he comes out of his cage. I call it his house, so it's not, and I set it up so it's very nice. And every night I go down, and my mother's usually sleeping, and I go down and I let Percy out at like 11 o'clock at night, and a lot of times he wants to take a left and go check if there's any food on the floor in the kitchen. And so I have to stand in front of him like, no, go outside. And I point at the door, and sometimes he's just like, and then he goes outside, and I give him a cookie, and I have to give him he's so spoiled. I got to give him his little scratch, and he gets a little pig massage, and he falls over, and I scratch him, and I rub him, and I scratch his belly, and I rub his body. People have said that it's really good if you have a pig that doesn't have other pigs that he's living with, is to massage him a lot. So I give him his little piggy massage, and then he goes off and he pees, and then he comes back in, and I put him back in his house, and I give him a little cookie, and he lies down. He lives on little blankets. He never has accidents in the house, and so he's got it pretty good. And he likes me, but he also wants to control. He wants to control his world, because he's a full boy, and he's supposed to be the leader of the pack. But no, that's my job. So so I am so relieved. I got very little sleep last night. I was so worried about Piggy. And it's about an hour and a half drive out there. And of course and we have to pick him up tonight. Because I'm trying to keep it costs a lot more than expected, because he's had to stay the extra day, and he had to go through all the pre-op stuff twice now. So I'm afraid to get the bill, but I had budgeted for what they gave me an estimate on. I'm hopefully, well, at least he got gilded. We'll figure everything else out later. So, and of course, this is my all of my girlfriends, my high school girlfriends, get together every quarterly. So they're all out to dinner, and I'm driving to go get the pig. But that's okay. I just keep telling myself, thank God he was fixed. So, you guys should hear. You should be able to hear on Donkey Cafe now. I thought that we had set that up, that Donkey Cafe has sound. If it doesn't, then let me know. I'm still. God, those cameras drive me nuts, but I can see if I can. I know how to get the sound on. So if it's not on in Chaos Hill, then let me know. I can make sure it's on. So, any other things that you guys have? Is there anything else going on? We went to Trask today, Justin and I, and we haven't been there in a while. Their activity director retired, and they have a new activity director who is thrilled. It was so nice to, you get relationships with people that you've seen over years. And we've been going to Trask for my mother and Judy for like 10 years. So I've been going there for 3. So it's really nice to see all those people. And I have a bunch of pictures in my phone that I need to post of the jobs this week. There's great pictures of Justin and all the kids at Northeast Arc. So I wanted to post those. So we went to our Trask, and I have spent an enormous amount of time this week repairing all the, did you not know the cafe is on? Oh yeah, I did not know the cafe camera is on. The camera in the Donkey Cafe should be on, but the sound shouldn't be on. The sound should only be on in Chaos Hill. Unfortunately, it's like where I live, so I don't always want to be caught on camera or, so anyways, so I've spent an enormous amount of time repairing stalled doors today because Chester seems to break everything, and you'll notice Chester gets loose a lot. And the other morning, I woke up to the sound of horses trotting up the driveway, and nothing gets me out of bed faster than that noise. Shut up, ran up, and fortunately Justin was ahead of me. He ran up and shut the gate because the entire Chester had let out the entire herd, and they were all heading up the driveway to go down the driveway. So that's bad. But hopefully they're all in right now. Not they're in, but they're in their paddocks, and they'll be there when I get back. I've got everything tied. Chester also broke a door in the Tanner, a wall in the Tanner barn, so I fixed that. And then I fixed all the areas that the goats had broken, and I noticed before I left today, I passed a goat in the driveway, and I'm like, God, I thought I fixed several places where goats have broken today, but they'd already gotten loose, so the battle will continue. And yes, Angus's owners, Fred and Michael, have Stella, their cute little pig, and he's got her doing tricks, which I gotta up my game with Percy. Like, Stella's, she's really good. So I gotta work on Percy when he gets back. He'll love that. And then they're gonna bring Stella down to Aiken, so I can use Stella and their Great Danes. They have, Violet, Iris, and they have a new dog, so there'll be extra dogs down there as well. So that's good. Percy will probably stay with my mother because he likes my mother, and she really likes having him in the house. So, and he's so easy. I'd like to, he is as easy I got to train him to walk up a ramp and get into the car because he's spectacular, he's fun, and he's such a hit with all of the people, and he always behaves in nursing homes and things like that. He's always that, other than that Monday thing but he's always good. So he can continue to do jobs with Justin and Elizabeth throughout the winter. So all right, well, is there anything else you guys have for questions before I continue my drive? Looks like my phone cord is now working. I apologize for being late. And I should be home. It'll probably be like 8 o'clock when I get home. So by the time I get there and get the pig and go meet the doctors and everything else, it'll be quite late. So, but I have a bunch of pictures on my phone that I need to remember to post later, and I'll get to that. And I will get to update Cloud with our numbers for today and anything else I forgot to do. It's weekend, so weekends are my catch-up time. I don't think we have anything going on over the weekend. No? Oh, the testing, one other thing. The testing, we've been postponed till August 2nd, just so everybody knows. And then, that's it. I don't know what I'm gonna do tomorrow. Probably the same thing I do every day, feed animals. Yay me. But it's supposed to be a nice weekend, and hoping to get out on my pedal bike and spend a little time with Percy because he's a good boy. All right, well, thanks for joining me.